What is going on, everybody in Mass Squad? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be doing a speed test between the Moto G Fast and the Google Pixel 5. Now, which one of these devices is going to win? So, Mass Squad, as we said in the intro of this video here, this is going to be a speed test between the Google Pixel 5 and the Moto G Fast. And just like all my other speed test videos here, this one is no different. I want to start things off discussing the specifications on paper to see which device can get the first W. To get things started here, we're going to look at the Google Pixel 5. Now, the Google Pixel 5 is going to come with the Snapdragon 765G. It's going to have an octa-core chipset, which has 2 cores that are clocked at 2.4 gigahertz, and the other 6 are clocked at 1.8. And for the GPU, it's going to be the Adreno 620. Now, this device is going to come with 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of internal storage. And out of the box, the device is going to be running Android 11 with security patch of November 5th, 2020. Now, looking at the Moto G Fast here, we're going to have the Snapdragon 665G inside of this device here. It's also an octa-core chipset. It's going to have 8 cores that are clocked at 2.02 gigahertz. And for the GPU, is going to be the Adreno 610. Now, this variant of the device is going to have 3 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of internal storage. And out of the box, the device is going to be running Android 10 with security patch of November 1st, 2020. So, Mass Squad, looking at the specifications on paper here between the Pixel 5 and the G Fast, I'm going to give this here to the Google Pixel 5. It has more RAM, more internal storage, a faster CPU, just overall a more powerful phone. And so it clearly gets the first W. And so that means the Pixel 5 has a score of 1 and the Moto G Fast has a score of 0. Let's get to the next part of the speed test here and see which device can take that W. So, Mass Squad, with this next part of the speed test here, what we're going to be doing is the application open and RAM management test, in which we open up the same applications on both devices at the same time to see which one can open it first. And then afterwards, we test the RAM to see which device can hold the applications that we opened previously better in the background. So to get things started here, we're going to start with the Google Play Store. And that goes to the Pixel 5. The next application is going to be YouTube. And that goes to the Pixel 5. Next application we're going to open up here is Amazon. And that goes to the Google Pixel 5. Next application we're going to open up here is Facebook. And that goes to the Pixel 5. Next application we're going to open up here is Instagram. And that goes to the Pixel 5. Next application we're going to open up is Twitter. And that goes to the Pixel 5. Next application we're going to open up here is YouTube Music. And that goes to the Pixel 5. And the final application we're going to open up here is Spotify. And that goes to the Pixel 5. So the next part of the speed test here, we're going to look at the RAM and see which device can hold these applications in the background. We're going to start off here with the Play Store, held by both. Next up, we have YouTube, held by the Pixel 5. Next up is Amazon, held by both. Next up is Facebook, held by both. Instagram, held by both. Twitter, held by both. YouTube Music, held by both. Spotify, held by both. So, Mass Squad, as you saw there with the application open and RAM management part of the test here, the Pixel 5 opened up every single application faster than the Moto G Fast. And also when it came to the RAM management, every single application was held in the background by both devices besides YouTube on the G Fast. And so for that reason, I'm going to give this W to the Pixel 5, having a score now of 2, while the G Fast has a score of 0. Let's get to the next part of the speed test here and see which device can take that W. And so, Mass Squad, with this next part of the speed test here, we're going to go over the AnTuTu benchmark, the Geekbench scores, and we're also going to run a speed test to see which device can get the faster up and down speeds. To start things off here, we're going to look at AnTuTu benchmark. For the Pixel 5, we got a score of 291,974, which is a pretty respectable score coming from the Snapdragon 765G. But I have other devices with the same exact processor, same amount of RAM, storage, all those things, and it has a little bit higher of a score. So nonetheless, a good score. We got a score of 158,521. Now this is the Snapdragon 665G, and the G Fast has 3 gigs of RAM. So a pretty good score coming from the Moto G Fast here. It's just, if it had a little bit more RAM, it might be a little bit higher here, but nonetheless, numbers versus numbers here. The Pixel 5 takes the first one. And so Mass Squad, now we're gonna look at Geekbench 5 here. Now with the Pixel 5 on the left side here, we got a score of 583 for the single core score, and a score of 1,567 for the multi-core score. But if we're looking at the Moto G Fast here, which is on the right side, on the single core performance, we got 311, and on the multi-core performance, we got 1,275. Well, yes, you see the difference between the single core performance, and you also see the difference between the multi-core performance, but not that much of a difference when it comes to everyday tasks here. Now, there are some things you will notice, but nonetheless, the Pixel 5 takes this one as well. And so, Mass Squad, here we are with the final part of this speed test here. We're gonna run a speed test to see which device can get the faster up and down speeds. So pre-checked here, both devices are on the same Wi-Fi network. There's not really much talking left to do here. Let's go ahead and get this started, and I'll see you guys in a second. So Mass Squad, here we are. The speed test is concluded here. Looking at the Pixel 5, we got a down of 94.2 and an up of 20.4, which is pretty good with my Wi-Fi speeds in here. And looking at the G Fast here, I don't know what happened entirely, but we definitely got lower on the down speeds, which is a 20.1. And we have higher on the up versus the Pixel here on 22.4. So yes, it is a little bit higher in the up speeds there, but being that the Pixel 5 took the Antutu, it took the Geekbench, and it also won the down here, I'm going to have to declare the winner to be the Pixel 5 with this part of the speed test, having a score now of 3, and the G Fast having a score of 0. Let's get to the next part of the speed test here and see which device can get that W. And so, Mass Squad, with this next part of the speed test here, we're going to be doing the application install test, in which we install 3 of the top applications here from the Play Store, and whichever device installs 2 of those 3 faster than the other automatically wins this part of the speed test. And as you can see, we have the first application up. It's going to be Zoom Cloud Meetings, and we're going to install that here in 3, 2, and that goes to the Pixel 5. And so, Mass Squad, being that the Pixel 5 took that first one there, we're going to go ahead and install the second application, which, as you can see, is HBO Max, aka the best application in the world. Don't at me, just watch the install here in 3, 2, and that goes to the Google Pixel 5. So, Mass Squad, looking at the application install test, you can see the Pixel 5 installed 2 of those 3 faster than the Moto G Fast here. And so what that leaves us with is a score of 4 for the Pixel 5 and 0 for the Moto G Fast. Let's get to the final part of the speed test here and see if the Moto G Fast can get a W. So, Bat Squad, with this next part of the speed test here, what we're going to be doing is the power on and power off test, in which we just turn the device on and off and see which one does it first. And without anything else left to say, really, we're going to go ahead and get that started in 3, 2, 1. And that goes to the Pixel 5 by a fraction of a second. That was really, really close. So, Mass Squad, as you saw there with the power on and power off test, the Pixel 5 won by a fraction of a second, meaning that the final score is going to be 5 for the Pixel and 0 for the Moto G Fast. So this is a complete shutout here. Didn't really expect the G Fast to actually keep up with the Pixel, but when it came to the application open and RAM management test, that's where the devices were pretty similar. And I think that has a lot to do with it being basically stock Android here. But in the comment section below, Mass Squad, let me know, did you think the Moto G Fast had a chance against the Pixel 5? Did you expect the Pixel 5 to perform the way it did against the G Fast? Let me know. And if you are new to the channel here, consider subscribing so that you don't miss any coverage when it comes to upper mid-range devices like the Pixel 5 and budget devices like the Moto G Fast. And Mass Squad, like this video here so that other people just like you can get a little bit more help when it comes to researching upper mid-range devices like the Pixel 5 and budget devices like the Moto G Fast. And then you get to see cool speed test videos like this one here. It just makes sense. And last but not least, share this video with your friends and family and let them know that not all Android cameras suck. It is just not true. But until then, my name is Maxarock. Thank you for watching this video. Have a good day, y'all. Deuces.